Here.
Mrs. Powers.
Here.
Mr. Spangler.
Here.
Mrs. Wright.
Here. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, that's fine.
Well, good evening, everyone. I want to welcome everyone here to our Board of Education meeting. This is our first public meeting using board docs. And board docs is a paperless board meeting. It will result in savings for the school district in terms of secretarial time, in terms of printing cost, copying cost, and also delivering the agendas via courier to board members' homes and other people who have requested that, postage. So it'll be an excellent savings for the district. And also, I know the word transparency is used quite a bit in terms of public agencies and governments. And we are hoping that this will make what we do even more transparent than we already have been, because it will allow the public to see the agenda from your home computer or anywhere you can access the internet, and also see supporting documents for each of the items the board will be considering. So it'll go live every Friday before our Monday board meetings, and the public will have a chance to access that. And we won't be offering paper copies, again, a savings to the district here at the meetings. We ask that if you'd like a paper copy, that you simply print it off from your home PC. And we'd like to show you now, just briefly, how you can access that, so it'll be easy for you. You start from our home page that we're all familiar with, and then if you hit we've already hit Board of Education, and that. Go back to the home page. Okay. Okay. There's our home page, and if you click on Board of Education, and then you will hit Board Agendas, and then you can see Board Docs, Board Meeting Agendas. Then you'll see this screen if you enter Public Site. And then this, put your cursor over 2012, and that's our meeting tonight that pops up. And then you can view the agenda. And then the item you see on the right is the immediate agenda item that we're considering. And then the whole agenda is on the left. And I'll ask Mrs. Baldwin to scroll down to one of the items under my recommendations that has an attachment. And you can see under personnel, for example, from the public, you can see all the names and positions and movement that the board will be considering based on our recommendations to them. So I think, again, this will open up a lot of information for people to take a look at. Again, we make this thing live the Friday afternoon prior to the board meeting, so everyone will have access to that and know exactly what's coming at our Monday meeting.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Do we have any comments from the audience this evening? Superintendent, can I have your recommendations tonight?
Yes. Bear with us in case there's any goof ups that we're doing, especially from me. First, we have some personnel recommendations, and these include one new administrative contract, several teachers being employed. We did have an employment adjustment of a teacher two teachers actually, who we discovered that were placed incorrectly in the pay scale. We want to make sure that is correct. 3 resignations. In fact, one we received just this afternoon. A couple recalls from reduction, some leaves of absence, and transfer. So I'd like to take all of these employment recommendations together, so I do wish to recommend that the Board of Education approve the certified and classified employee recommendations as presented in the attached exhibit.
So moved. It's moved by Mrs. Wright and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bonacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye. I'd like to take a minute to introduce our new principal at Riverview Elementary School. Tracy Kosmak has just been named new principal at Riverview, and she is here tonight, and we appreciate that. She is a Stow resident, I believe one graduate and one current.
Three graduates.
Three
and
graduates, one current student.
A junior.
And
everyone else.
comes to us from the Talmadge City School District. She went through quite a grueling interview process with Karen Moore and Dr. Marty and others from the central office, and then with a number of our staff members and myself, and then back again with Karen Moore and myself, and probably tired of seeing this, but we're really excited about her ability to build relationships and knowledge of the Common Core and her experience at the elementary level. And I'd like to introduce our new principal at Riverview, Tracy Kosmak.
Yes, I am just so excited to be here, I can't tell you. Truly, you know, the school system has done really good things for my own children, I'm excited to get back, so. And I'm really excited to see people that look familiar. Couldn't have done it without the teachers, they were wonderful.
Thank you for your help with the whole process. Okay, next I'd like to, I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the supplementals and non-certified supplemental resolution as presented in the attached exhibit.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Powers and seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Bonacci?
Aye.
Item C is the adoption of updated Neola Board policies. I wish to recommend the Board of Education adopt the updated Neola Board policy, which was presented at the previous board meeting. And Mr. Armstrong did ask if we could get this posted via board docs. We tried today. The scanner was not working, unfortunately. We're hoping that in the future we'll be able to take all of the Neola policies the board is considering and have them, you know, on board docs so the public can access them.
So moved.
Discussion on this.
Certainly.
Yeah, and that was a key issue that Brian wanted this, so we could get this out there. And just for the record, because I don't think we've ever stated what this policy was for. This is for student abuse and neglect, which is a bullying policy. Okay. I believe it's policy 8462, correct?
I'm not sure the number. I don't have the
I
number.
thought it's out there, yeah.
Okay.
So just, so we have that in the record, in the minutes, what the policy was for.
Okay, thank you. It's moved by Mrs. Powers and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Bonacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Item D is adoption of textbooks. I wish to recommend the Board of Education adopt the textbooks which were presented at a previous board meeting. A copy of each textbook is available in the office of academic chief.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved by Mrs. Wright and seconded by Mr. Bonacci. Roll call.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Bonacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Item E is contract for services with the Cleveland Clinic Center for Autism, the Learner School. I wish to recommend that the Board of Education approve the contract with Cleveland Clinic Center for Autism, Learner School for the 2012-2013 school year, as presented in the attached exhibit.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Powers and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Bonacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Item F is contract for services for Blick Clinic. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the agreement with Blick Clinic providing educational support services for a special education student as required by the student's IEP team during the 2012-13 school year as presented in the attached exhibit.
Moved by Mrs. Wright and seconded by, Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Item G is a contract for services for Music Therapy Enrichment Center. Just a quick point, items E, F, and G are all based on student IEPs and what the IEP team is requiring for the services that we provide for those specific students in their contracts with each of these agencies. So I wish to recommend that the Board of Education renew its contract with Music Therapy Enrichment Center Incorporated for music therapy as required by a special education student's IEP as presented in the attached exhibit.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Benacci and seconded by Mrs. Wright. I'm sorry, was it Mr. Spangler? Yeah.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Item H is contract for services for child guidance and family solutions. I wish to recommend the Board of Education renew its contract with Child Guidance and Family Solutions to provide a full-time therapist case manager for 2012-13 school year as presented in the attached exhibit. And this licensed therapist will be housed at the high school. This is Sally Dean, and she does terrific work with our kids. I think I sent in my update some of the information regarding her work with our kids throughout the year. So we value and appreciate all that she does.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Powers and seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Item I is contract for services for a positive education program known as PEP. Wish to recommend the Board of Education renew its contract with Positive Education Program to provide consultation and support services for the 2012-13 school year as presented in the attached exhibit.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Mrs. Wright, seconded by Mrs. Powell. Roll call.
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Item J is agreement and bylaws establishing the 6th District Educational Compact as a regional council of governments. As you know, our career tech programs are run through the 6th District Educational Compact, and it's a tremendous savings to the taxpayers of Stow and Munroe Falls to have this kind of program available for career tech. Because the programs are housed in our specific high schools. We all share in some of those. We have culinary and aviation here as a couple of examples. We share in services in terms of busing and getting our students to each of the buildings. What a lot of districts will do, you might, like for example, Maplewood Joint Vocational School, and they do great work and they're a phenomenal place. But each of the schools who feed into Maplewood have to pay, I believe it's $1 million in terms of their tax base to support that program. We just pay based on a per pupil cost. So it is a tremendous savings to have this 6th district compact. This contract is renewed every 5 years, and there was some slight tweaking in some of the wording, but nothing major. So I do wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the agreement and bylaws establishing the 6th District Educational Compact as a regional council of governments as presented in the attached exhibit.
So moved. Second.
It's moved by Mr. Spangler and seconded by Mr. Benacci. Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye.
Item K is our liability insurance, and I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the list of additional insured organizations to be added to our liability insurance for the 2012-13 school year as presented in the attached exhibit.
So moved.
Second. It's moved by Mrs. Wright and seconded by Mrs. Powers. Roll call.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Item L is the Stow Suburban Youth Football Booster Club lease agreement, which I recommend the Board of Education renew the lease agreement with the Stow Suburban Youth Football Booster Club, Inc. for one additional school year, as presented in the attached exhibit. We've had a long relationship with Stow Youth Football using the Lakeview facility, and there's really no change in the contract.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved by Mrs. Powers and it's seconded by Mrs. Wright. Roll call.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Item M is contract for services, United Computer Solutions. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the contracts with United Computer Solutions beginning August 1st through July 31st, 2013, as presented in the exhibit. These are our two tech fix-it guys, our version of the Geek Squad. They have that privilege. These guys are phenomenal. They've been with us for about, I think, 3 years now. And without them, we would be dead in the water, I gotta tell you, without them and Randy's leadership. So I do wish to recommend that the board approve these contracts. It would, and by the way, it would be much more expensive when we hired them outright as opposed to going through United Computer Solutions.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Spangler, seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Aye.
Item M is energy education contract. This came before us at a previous board meeting, and Jim Siemens is here from Energy Education Savings. Some questions did come up regarding this contract and some of the financial pieces associated with that. So I did ask Mr. Siemens to come this evening so that the board could ask their questions, and Mr. Siemens is here. So
Try to address all.
Okay, I'll go first. Sure.
No.
The way I look at this, Jim,
Yes.
we're looking at over a 4-year period, expenses out of the district of almost $600,000, depending on what the energy specialist will be.
Yes.
It's a considerable amount of money. A lot of that depends on how you define what your baseline year is. In the contract that was sent to us, the baseline year could be last year, could go back up to the 3-year average or whatever it's defined. Where I got some issues is this has to be in the contract, whatever we define the basis.
The actual dollar figures, what you're
It
saying.
needs to, no, the usage, how you define it, whether it's a savings or not, okay? It has to be in there because if it drives the entire contract. Whether it's savings, whether it's you didn't hit it, whether you pay us to cover those costs that we're incurring, that needs to be in there. Second thing is the specialist is undefined what that cost will be. It says in the contract with your guidance and your input of who that person would be, how much that person gets paid, whether it's part-time, whether it's benefit bearing, those costs, I don't know what those are. I think those have to be defined. Every monetary cost in this contract needs to be in there and defined in the contract. I also feel that once we settle on what those numbers are, I think we need to run that past our attorney to make sure everything in there is satisfactory to the board before we sign it, okay? Those things I have issues with, and until those are in there, I can't move forward. That's just personally my opinion. I like the concept. Now, get all those things in there. Have we done everything we could? Probably not. With knowledge we know. Obviously, your company knows a lot more about saving energy. We're looking at other ways to reduce our cost of energy. You're on the other side of it where you're trying to save the usage versus development. So, in my mind, those things have to be in there and have to be agreed upon. I think Rod is probably the financial analyst of the groups, and I would say you need to work with him to define what that baseline is. So once we have that, that needs to go in, like I said earlier. So those are my 3 points that I'm concerned with. It's a huge cost to us. And if we can save that, so we have to save over $600,000 to begin a positive for us over the 4-year period. Because that's how much our out-of-pocket costs would be, depending on what the energy is. So that's kind of where I'm at until everything has to be defined. I'm just going back to my procurement background. I gotta have everything in a contract.
I understand. And what we do on the contracts is however you want to do it, I can stand in the middle of it, or we can have your attorney talk to our attorney, and they can work out all the details of the contract until they get to the point where it's an agreement finally.
That's usually how it goes. All you're gonna end up being is a middleman.
And I don't like that going.
Okay, but you can go ahead and sit down, because I'm just gonna give my rendition of the contract and what I see on this, okay, at this point in time. And what I'm looking at is a $500,000 expenditure, okay, right now. And we haven't even tried, okay? When I got the numbers, it was the first time they were even looked at. In fact, we didn't even have complete numbers of our energy usage, okay? When we first got this package here, okay, it was a lot of dollars, and it looked real fancy and everything, real nice, all put together, but it was based on nothing. It was based on just we'll take 23% of your cost out. There was no physicals that this was even based on. No one's even looked at our physicals yet. What I'm saying, and the key issue, my key issue, is that we should put an energy policy into the school. We're teaching the kids. We are in the business of teaching. That's what we should be doing, okay? We should put that into our curriculum. Teach the kids how to compute heat degree days. Let's try that first. Let's go down that path first. And then, if we think there's still some money to be had, let's look at a consultant, outside consultant. Now, in this, another issue in this particular contract, like I said, you know, the presentation I'm very disappointed with, because there was no physicals backing it. There was no definition between just dollars. So what was KWH, what was MCF, and that, okay? In the contract itself, I am really unhappy with 3.1, where it's the energy specialist. I mean, if we don't like, if it's not doing the job, okay, well, you just replace it. So if you're not seeing the savings, you can basically say, well, you know, that you're going to replace that particular energy consultant. The other issue here is on 3B, really narrows down the field of people. We're saying it has to be a present or a past employee of the district. Sometimes a fresh set of eyes. We move our plant managers around on a regular basis just to get a fresh set of eyes.
The reason we do that, though,
this is just my discussion. I'm not asking any question or anything. This is just my discussion. Okay, of it. This is before the board votes, so this is just our discussion here. And I'm just bringing up the items that quickly, and this is just, you know, quickly that I saw in here. District costs. Okay, in this 4C, okay, there's two numbers that contradict each other. At the last sentence, there says the district cost for the software is $6,650 for the first year and $2,593 per year thereafter, period. Then it goes, the district cost for the software is $6,650 per year for the first 3 years and $22,593 for each year thereafter. Okay, there's a contract I want to vote on tonight that's somewhere is an error. Okay, okay, 3 here. When I go down to 4E, it says no third-party interference. District shall make a good faith effort to discourage any third party from interfering with the program implementation. Okay, we have a lot of agreements with the city. We give things. We have Park and Recs using our facilities now. If you come in and say, well, in order to get the savings, you know, you have to allow Park and Rec or whatever, you know, you have to cut that out or cut the school down at a certain time, or we have decide to have something with the, you know, third party that, you know, there's an out for you not paying the guarantee. We haven't got to the guarantee yet. 4 here on 5D2. Okay, well, fine. We're discussing as a baseline all along, we're discussing bringing in the outside temperature. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the way the baseline is and that. But then we talk about, in that particular one, all of a sudden, energy rates. So are we talking dollars here all of a sudden? Because dollars, economics should be constant, should be that constant economics. Because prior, we already addressed it at average economics for that particular performance year, with what the savings would be based on. So we already addressed that issue. 5. Okay, yeah, now we come to 4, let's see, it would be 5, I'm trying to get all these numbers right. We're rated 5, D3, water. We have to make a decision on that. Right now, we're putting we use a lot of money to water our football field every year, because we have a major problem out there, okay? Right now, we're putting natural turf out there, okay? So we're not going to have that. That needs to be looked at, and that's an adjustment that we say we can make here, but we probably need to look at that and make an adjustment for that in here. Let's see, 6 performance year, district must employ energy specialists. Under this guaranteed savings, okay, there's another item that's very subjective. It says the district must have employed an energy specialist as required in substantially implemented the program in order for the district to get its costs back. That means that's a very subjective wording there, saying substantially, you know. Well, okay, so we go to court and we argue what was substantial and what was not substantial for the next 5 years. And, you know, in the meantime, we've paid $500,000. This is one I just popped up, and that was number 11, proprietary information. And it says proprietary information also includes all database files created using the software. Oh, wait a minute. I'm buying the license on this software. I'm populating the database. And now all of a sudden that's proprietary? I can't keep that? That's my data. That's the school district's database, okay, that we've populated it with, not your database, okay? These are just a few issues I have, and that's why I will be voting no on this tonight.
Actually, yes.
We take 2 board members, take the superintendent, several people in the district to and an attorney to read this, and then make the suggestions rather than do it at a board meeting, and invite the proprietor and sit down and discuss it, work out the contract, and then see if it's viable, if we can use it.
Sounds like an excellent idea to me. Would you like to make a motion to table it for now?
I'd like to have Mr. Stevens be kind enough here to come as a representative. I think we owe it to him to give him an opportunity to respond to some of these questions.
And I just have, I won't take my time to you guys. I know this is a difficult program to put your hands around because of all the intricacies of the contract, and it's a behavioral change program. So it's not equipment, it's not something, and that is different, there's no doubt about it. What I did, I don't want to go through, Mr. Armstrong, address all your concerns there. The one I will address is, because it came to mind, we brought up, we have a 4-page document on substantial implementation that is added to a lot of contracts, because that question comes up a lot. What is substantial implementation? What is defined by that? And that's given to parties' attorneys. They agree upon it, or they make changes to it, and it's all agreed upon there. So we don't get into these things without making sure that everyone's comfortable with it. We don't. It doesn't to us have a client like that, and it doesn't to y'all as a burden. What I wanted to share with you just real quickly, and I brought one for each of you. This is an actual client of ours that I was actually at last week, Xenia, Ohio. They've been a client of ours for 7 years. What you're looking at there on the left, 9,000, I'm sorry, down to Series 5 is their actual dollars of their actual utility cost from the year 2004. That's their actual dollars. We started with them in 2004. Their baseline year was $9,601 X amount of dollars. you see every year after that their actual cost, don't even worry about cost avoidance, don't even worry about the program, their actual cost went down in utilities. That's their trend of their actual utility costs. They did not have any major construction. They had some changes, there's different rates, there's a lot of things, but these are actual dollars, okay?
And that's what I really have against this. Showing this is really false. Showing this to us it's an insult.
It's their actual dollars.
Because it's dollars.
But
show me WKWH, show me the physical. There's too much economic. What has happened? 45 years ago, how much was you paying for natural gas?
Every client I've been in.
How much were you paying for natural gas?
Every client I've been in over these years, the cost has gone up, utility costs have gone up. As a total, and again, I don't know utility gas directly, but as a total.
It's gone down from $10 an MCF to $4.
In the recent year or two, yes. But overall, utility costs have increased over the years. And all I'm doing is showing you there is that's what their cost was. The lines at the top are a 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% increase in total cost.
Show me KWH.
Total cost.
Show me MCF.
So the way we got them there, those low numbers, was reduced consumption. That's
Show
how
me
we got them.
KWH and show me MCF. Don't show me the dollars.
I will gladly, Mr. Spangler, I like your approach. We'll gladly get whatever you want from us, be it attorney, be it a provider. We get in these agreements with school districts that obviously are comfortable with us also, and we want to do a good job for you. One neighbor, Hudson School District, we've been in there for a little bit over a year now. We've saved them over $1 million. I think they were quoted that last time they were there. And they had a lot of stuff going on at the same time, so just one example of that. But again, I'll try to address whatever questions we can in the future, and we'll work with you in any way we can.
And in closing on that, our total utility budget is only $1 million, and we're larger than Hudson, so wow, saving Hudson $1 million must be really something. I'd really like to see the KWH and
And that was a quote from Jim Sawyer's Hudson. That was a quote from him, so that's.
Anyway.
Your proven success in the program speaks for itself. As I sat with you, Dr. Jones, I think there was one school district that maybe shied away from it and then ended up coming back because they couldn't do it on their own. And as you said, it is an attitude. You can't give the teachers, the students, this whole responsibility and expect it to work. It's changing the system, it's changing how we think. We can get involved, we can be aware, but to actually document it and to get into a reporting part of it, I don't think it's the teachers or the administrators' job to do that. Their job is to teach our students.
And you know, that is exactly my point. I think it is the job, and this is a life lesson that we have the opportunity to teach them. We have the opportunity to show them, okay, look, you can make a difference in your own school building. You can, as a student, we have that opportunity. Our teachers can put that in their curriculum. You know, this is a great opportunity. Why don't we? What is wrong? What is so wrong with us trying to get an energy policy and trying it first on our own? Without spending, without committing to $500,000.
And I know that's a huge, remember, that is all guaranteed. If we don't save that amount, you're not out of penny.
That's right. If you don't save it, but here's the thing, if we do implement, and then we do something on our own, teaching the kids of that, and the teachers are teaching the kids, and we have a good program, guess what? That's not our money, that's your money. That's your
part of it is. That's part of it is. I'll leave you with this. About 65 to 70% of our clients that sign with us have tried to do it yourself program. And we don't fault them for it. That's a lot of school districts want to go that way.
And I think we should try that first.
It all depends on where you're at and where you want to go. So they usually do, like you said, Karen, they usually come back.
Well, thank you for your time this
You're welcome.
evening. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you again.
One final thing I want to get on this. I do agree with Rod. I think a better barometer is using the KWH metrics themselves as knowledge that with increases and rate increases, that does get kind of fuzzy. So if you're using 100 KWH today, and now next year you're using 90, that's an improvement. Regardless of what the dollars are, you have improved a certain percentage of what you use. That might make better sense. Or at least have both of them and measure. I both think good, but to have that is I don't think.
And if I may, that is how the whole program is based. I know it's not in the contract, but everything in the software is all on consumption. It's not on dollars on bills. The bills set the baseline, but all the improvement is based upon reduction in consumption.
But
That's where we
unfortunately,
start.
not in the dollars in the presentation. It's all dollars.
Well, I think the good thing is the board continues to look at ways to save taxpayers of Stow and Munroe Falls dollars. And we certainly appreciate the conversation, the questions, and we want to make sure that we're positive, that we want to move forward. So I think Mr. Spangler's suggestion of sitting down and really look at this even further is perfectly fine. There's no emergency, you don't have to do it tonight, but certainly we need to look at this thoroughly and make sure it's the right step for us. And again, it's all in the spirit of, can we save dollars for our school district? So I think it's positive.
I think that's the bottom line.
At this time, I would like to make a motion to remove item N from the agenda at this time.
Second.
It's moved by Mrs. Powers and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mrs. Wright. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mr. Bonacci.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Item O is a gift. I wish to recommend the Board of Education accept the following gift. Mr. and Mrs. Kohler and Mr. and Mrs. Bundy family donating $481 to Woodland Elementary School to be used for their playground.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Powers and seconded by Mr. Bonacci. Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mr. Bonacci.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Spangler. Mrs. Wright.
Aye.
I'd also like to recognize we do have two of our new teacher hires in the audience. I'd like to ask them to stand. Sorry to make you wait for so long. Lindsay McCullough, intervention specialist at Kempton Middle School, welcome. And Elizabeth Fain, physics teacher at the high school. So thank you for being here. Maybe we could do a physics lesson on energy savings.
Okay, thank you for your report. Is there any old business? Any new business? Okay, any reason for an executive session this evening? I said, any reason for an executive session this evening? Okay, can I get a motion for adjournment?
Did you say liaison report?
No, but please feel free to give one on
Oh,
new business.
okay. The legislative liaison, a couple of things going on, and one of them was just in the paper with the biennial budget just being passed. Jury's still out on that one. I think you know what I'm going to talk about, is the third grade reading guarantee. My extra costs that we may have to incur there, we're going to have to look at and make sure that we're in line, and that maybe we need to spend the money there rather than $500,000 on outside consultants. But anyway, I got my jab in. Okay, next is the Mike DeWine, the Attorney General. Also, I know we've had problems with records requests. Now, he's opened up a hotline, and you can go to the Attorney General's website, and they're willing to work with public entities and the people who made the contact them on getting public records requests and making it easy for both entities on that. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to make a comment on the article appearing in the Journal of Ohio School Boards Associations, written for June past month, and it contained items from Julie Miller, the IB coordinator, and Jackie Magliata, communications director, explaining how things are going. I think it was an outstanding presentation, and congratulations to your writing ability. Very nice. I just don't think it comes with colored pictures I like.
One item. Tonight, I did print off all the documents. Single page. This is what was up on the board, up on the computer tonight. So, you know, we're trying to save a couple dollars here and there. I want to get more transparent. I'd like to see more of the items up there than that. But That's times 5 people on the board and whatever other handouts we may have. So,
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second? Moved by Mr. Spangler and seconded by Mrs. Powers. Roll call.
Mr. Benacci?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.